This Prime Minister once spoke of compassion and dignity for migrants and for defending free movement. Now he talks of islands of strangers and taking back control. Somebody here has to call this out, Mr. Speaker. It seems the only principle he consistently defends is whichever he last heard in a focus group. So I ask him, is there any belief he holds which survives a week in Downing Street?
Yes, the belief that she talks rubbish. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
We have a new phrase to pair with the infamous rivers of blood. Sir Keir Starmer's speech today about an island of strangers. Not quite so bad, but that's an extraordinarily low bar. Now, a declaration of interest. Yes, as soon as I open my mouth, you know that I'm an immigrant to Britain. But I'm a privileged one here in the House of Lords. The people I'm really thinking about today, the Filipino nurse who's there caring for a sick child in hospital, the Nigerian carer helping an older Briton to stay in their home, the Uzbek farm worker who's picking the strawberries that will be on your plate tomorrow. All of those people are going to be living in a country where the Prime Minister is using phrases like this, is very clearly following the rhetoric, the approach of the far right. That's very disturbing, and it's also deeply dangerous, and it's also really politically stupid. If you don't stand up to the far right, if you just follow after them, you're just signalling to the people to vote for the far right. This is a really sad day, but I always am looking for the hopeful argument in any situation, looking for the hope. And so what I hope today is that lots of people will hear this and think, I'm not going to put up with that. I want a different kind of Britain to that. And I'm going to get involved in politics. I'm going to make politics what I do not have done to me, and speak up for equality and justice and a recognition that Britain is and always has been a nation of both immigrants and immigrants. There are, of course, 5 million Britons living in other countries around the world.
Migrants are being scapegoated for problems that they didn't cause, and these arbitrary measures won't fix those problems, and they will harm migrants, people who need social care, our economy, anyone who fears racial abuse, which the rhetoric surrounding this emboldens. Why are we trying to ape reform when that will do nothing to improve our constituents' lives and just stoke more division?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We at Reform, a party that is alive and kicking, very much enjoyed your speech on Monday. You seem to be learning a very great deal from us. But can I encourage you, please, to go further as a matter of national security? As a matter of national security, does the Prime Minister agree now is the time to declare the situation in the English Channel as a national security emergency?
Migration is part of Britain's national story. We talked last week about the great rebuilding of this country after the war. Migrants were part of that, and they make a massive contribution today, and you will never hear me denigrate that. But when people come to our country, they should also commit to integration, to learning our language, and our system should actively distinguish between those that do and those that don't. I think that's fair. Equally, Britain must compete for the best talent in the world, in science, in technology, in healthcare. You can't simply pull up a drawbridge, let nobody in, and think that's an economy that would work. That would hurt the pay packets of working people without question. But at the same time, we do have to ask why parts of our economy seem almost addicted to importing cheap labour, rather than investing in the skills of people who are here and want a good job in their community. Sectors like engineering, where visas have rocketed while apprenticeships have plummeted. Is that fair to Britain? Is that fair to young people, weighing up their future to miss out on those apprentices? To see colleges in their community almost entirely dedicated to one-year courses for overseas students? No, I don't think that it is. And truth be told, I don't think anybody does. Yet that is the Britain this broken system has created. So as this white paper sets out, every area of the immigration system, work, family and study, will be tightened up so we have more control. Skill requirements raised to degree level. English language requirements across all routes, including for dependent. The time it takes to acquire settled status extended from 5 years to 10. And enforcement tougher than ever, because fair rules must be followed. Now, make no mistake, this plan means migration will fall. That's a promise.